Hello everyone. This is the second part of the orientation. Okay. I hope that student already watched my previous video before going to this link. Okay. All right. The next item that I'm going to discuss is program learning outcome and CLO and course learning outcome. The program learning outcome is student will be able to secure network logically and physically. And the course learning outcome, we have 4 of this, right? Identify and implement different security methods used in network, host, and data defense. Understand and apply the different access control models and authentication type. Understand the different type of encryption and use for hazing. Review and maintain proper security documentation for information security program. We are going to change this course learning outcome next year or by the end of this semester in order to reflect with the new curriculum, because this semester we move into test out ethical hackers. Before that, we are using security pro. Okay? All right. So let's coming to the grading criteria. I think this is one of the important component of the orientation. So please listen to this carefully. Okay. Learner must score at least 80% on each test in order to successfully complete the course. Post-test may be taken 3 times. Okay. At the end of the course, if the learner is unable to pass any post-test with 80 or higher after 3 attempts, then student will receive an F and must retake the course. The final grade, A or B, will consist of the average of all post-tests as long as the post-test has a score of 80 or higher. Otherwise, if the score any post-test is lower than 80, then the learner will earn an automatic F. Normally, when students fail the first post-test, he or she need to contact the instructor, because I will guide them, right? I will mentor them, I will advise them. So we are going to have like maybe 10 to 15-minute counseling to advise student what kind of course action plan that student need to take before attempt the second one. Okay, so once student fail the first one, make sure that the student need to contact the instructor so we can have a counseling session the second attempt. Hopefully student pass the second attempt. If in the second attempt student still fail the post test, then we need to have a little bit more in-depth discussion how we should approach for this class. Okay, so it is very important that student communicate with the instructor. Remember, I have phone number, I have email, and I have blog, Blackboard, Collaborate Ultra. So we have so many tools to communicate. The important thing is to communicate so we can make a plan what course of action that we need to take. Where can you find the information? Okay, when you log into Blackboard, right, on the left hand panel you see competency 1, competency 2, and competency 4. Always start with competency 1. Student cannot jump to competency 2 and 3 automatically. Okay, so before we run, we need to learn how to walk. So please follow the guide, follow the guidance that I provided to you. Okay, so we start competency 1, right? Notice that I also post a disclaimer here or information. Review and maintain security documentation for information security program. As I mentioned to you before, last semester we used security plus curriculum, but now we are using the ethical hacking pro. So the description is a little bit off. The department requires students to complete both the pre-test and the post-test, right? So before student attempt to take the post-test, they need to take what? The pre-test. So remember that. student cannot take the post-test before they take the pre-test. All right? Please follow this procedure that student need to understand. Okay, so student must take the pre-test and the post-test. At the end of week number 1, okay, so since the class start on May 18, so hopefully by Sunday, student have completed at least the pre-test. It would be good that student finish the post-test as well. So by May 17, student need to take the pre-test, and then on Monday, student can take the post-test. All right. So it's up to you, by the way. But the department requires student to have at least pre-test here. Okay, on the 17th. It is a good idea. Also, it is better that student also finish the post-test. Okay. All right. So when student click this folder, I have information regarding competency 1, right? This is, we have a pre-test here, right? Pre-test, and then you have a post-test, right? Click the pre-test, take the pre-test first, and then you take the post-test. Notice that on the post-test, I have multiple choice from test out, and I also have an essay, right? The weight, I probably gonna change the weight here, right? Or maybe I'm going to put more essay questions. All right. So as I mentioned to you in the previous video, right, in test out, cover competency 1 cover chapter consists of chapter 1, 2, and 3. I would suggest that student go over this material first in order to get familiar with the material. Unless student already familiarized with the curriculum, then you can take the pre-test and post-test right away. Generally speaking, when I study the CBE course, if I have to study the CBE course, review this material, chapter 1 and chapter 2, right? We have chapter 2 and then we have chapter 3, right? So chapter 2 has more material here, right? And chapter 3 also quite lengthy here. So review this and review this and review this, right? There are 3 chapters in competency 1. So for competency 1, where is it here? So for competency 1, get familiarized with the content. Chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3, right? Once student familiarized with all the content, then you take a pre-test. Some people like to take pre-test right away. It's up to you, but my suggestion is get familiarized with the content material and then take the pre-test. Okay. Once student take the pre-test, see whether you really understand the material or already familiar with the concept. Okay. Review what student did wrong and what student did right, right? Review this. After you confidence with the pre-test and understand all the material, then student need to take the post-test. Okay. So my advice is, here is, if I have to give you my advice, okay, you can use different approach, but here is my advice. 1, review the content. Review the content related to the competency. For example, competency 1 has 3 chapters, right? For example, competency 1 have 3 chapters, so review chapter 1, 2, and 3. Okay, then take the pre-test. After student finish the pre-test, review what you get wrong or what you get right. Okay, then after you feel confident, take the post-test. That is my advice. If you have any other way, that's fine. All right. So let me see. So go back to competency 1, right? So we have a pre-test and the post-test. The one that will be counted as a grade is the post-test, all right? So student need to achieve 80% of higher on the post-test in order to pass the CBE, okay? The pre-test helps you to get familiarized with some of the question will be on that. Remember, the question is a combination of multiple choice, essay, and lab simulation. All right, and the content of chapter 1 is in here, and then the content of chapter 2 and 3 is in here, right? Okay. So therefore, it is important that students get the test out material as soon as possible. Okay, remember earlier I showed you how to obtain the test out courseware as soon as possible, because if you delay this test out material, you are missing some time, because student will be missing a day or 2 days. Okay, so hopefully by Tuesday students should have this program. All right, what else that we need to cover here? What else we need to cover? So we have 4 post-tests, right? So we have post-test, we have competency 1. On each competency, we have post-test, post-test 1, post-test 2, post-test 3, and post-test 4. These are the grade that will be calculated for the CBE course, all right? And the grading scale is A, 90 to 100, B, 80 to 89, and F is, that means you didn't pass the competency. The textbook is testout.com and ISBN. Student can also get it from the STC bookstore here, right? So check the price, okay? The code that I provided to you give you at a discounted price. Let me see how long I am here. Okay, so all right, so we talk about the competency, right? So I went over the content in the Blackboard, competency 1, competency 2, competency 3, okay? What else here? We talk about the textbook, right? The rest of the content, I think students can read on their own, right? To save the time here. Academic dishonesty, make sure you read that. Academic dishonesty, I think that's very important. Make sure you do on your own works. My advice for student is make a plan, right? Get familiar with the content. Take the pre-test and the post-test, okay? And communicate or email to the instructor if you have any questions, and please manage your time wisely and carefully. I think that's the key word here. If you have any questions, please email me, okay? Get familiar with all the information here. Click the link, right? I'm gonna post this orientation video here. Remember, I have 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. So please watch that video, okay? So watch the video orientation, do student introduction, and email me your contact info. We have quite number of students here, okay? So here is my alarm already off. So, well, hopefully that this video orientation is informative to you and helpful and beneficial. Thank you and enjoy the learning, and thank you very much for watching. Bye.